Hello student, today I'm going to start chapter 1, How the Camel Got His Hump from It So Happened book. So in the beginning, when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel and he lived in the middle of a howling desert because he did not want to work. He ate sticks and thorns and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him, he said, hum, just hum and no more. So, student, when the world was had just begun and the animals had just started working for humans, there was one lazy camel who did nothing and said nothing except hum whenever anyone spoke to him. He lived in the middle of a howling desert because he had no intention of working. He fed himself on sticks, thorns, and prickles. Now, presently, the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and said, Camel, oh camel, come out and trot like the rest of us. Hum, said the camel, and the horse went away and told the man. Presently, the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, Camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us. Hum, said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. Presently, the ox came to him with the yoke on his neck and said, Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us. Hmm, said the camel, and the ox went away and told the man. So, student, one Monday morning, the horse visited the camel with a saddle on his back and asked him to trot like everyone else. The camel replied by saying, Hum, said the horse, to the man and reported this to him. Similarly, the dog came to the camel with a stick in his mouth and asked the camel to come and bring back things like them. The camel again replied with a hum. The dog told all this to the man. Then again the ox went to the camel with a yoke on his neck and asked him to plow like the rest of them. Not surprisingly, the camel replied to the ox with a hum. The ox, like the other two, went to the man and told him everything. At the end of the day, the man called the horse and the dog and the ox together and said, Tree, oh tree, I am very sorry for you, but that hum thing in the desert can't work, or he would have been here by now, so I am going to leave him alone, and you must work double time to make up for it. Now, at that particular day ends, the man called all three of them, the horse, the dog, and the ox, together. He told the three that he felt sorry for them as they would have to do the work all by themselves and would have to double their shift for completing it. They would have to do this because the hum thing, which was the camel, can't work, or else he would have been there with them. Now, that made the three very angry, and they held a panchayat on the edge of the desert. And the camel came chewing curd and laughed at them. Then he said, and went away again. Presently, there came along the jinn who was in charge of all desert, rolling in a cloud of dust. Jinn of all deserts, said the horse, is it right for anyone to be idle? Certainly not, said the jinn. Well, said the horse, there's a thing in the middle of your desert with a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. He won't rot. Phew, said the jinn whistling. That's my camel. What does he say about it? He says, and he won't plow, said the ox. Very good, said the jinn. I will hump him if you will kindly wait a minute. Now, upon hearing that they would have to work double time, The three got very annoyed. They conducted a panchayat on the border of the desert. Only then the camel arrived chewing curd. He made fun of the three, said his regular hum, and left. The very next moment, the jinn of all deserts arrived rolling in a cloud of dust. The horse asked the jinn if it was okay for someone to spend all their time doing nothing. The jinn said it was not right. The horse further gave him a description of the camel and told him that a creature with a tall neck and long legs who live in the center of the desert had not done work since Monday morning and that he won't even trot. The jinn was quite surprised on hearing this and tells the three that he knows the camel and asks them about his attitude towards work. The ox told him that he does not even plow and only says hum whenever they go and talk to him. The jinn understood and took the situation in his hand and asked the three to wait till he handled the camel. Now, coming to the second part, the jinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak and took a walk across the desert and found the camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. My friend, said the jinn, what's this I hear of you doing no work? The jinn sat down with his chin in his hand while the camel looked at his own reflection in the pool of water. You have given the three extra work ever since Monday morning, all on account of your idleness, said the jinn. So, after having a word with the three, the jinn disappeared by rolling himself in his dust cloak. He walked around in the desert to find the camel. He finally found the camel gazing at his own reflection in the water. The jinn told the camel that he had heard of him not willing to work at all. The camel continued to look at his own reflection while the jinn sat down with his chin in his hand. The jinn continued to speak as he told the camel that as a consequence of his laziness, the horse, the dog, and the ox are working double time since Monday morning. And he went on thinking with his chin in his hand. Hum, said the camel. I shouldn't say that again if I were you, said the jinn. You might say it once too often. I want you to work. And the camel said, hum, again. But no sooner had he said it than he saw his back that he was so proud of puffing up into a great big hump. So, student, after talking to the camel clearly, the jinn continued his thinking. The camel replied with his usual hum. The jinn told the camel to better stop saying it. He added that he had been saying hum quite a lot now and how he wants him to start working instead. Despite Jinn's warning, the camel replied again with a hum. As he took out the word out of his mouth, the camel noticed his back becoming bigger and bigger. The back he was so obsessed with had now grown up into a big hump. Did you see that? Said the jinn. That's your very own hump that you have brought upon your very own self by not working. Today is Thursday and you have done no work since Monday when the work began. Now you are going to work. How can I, said the camel, with this hump on my back? That has a purpose, said the jinn. All because you missed those 3 days, you will be able to work now for 3 days without eating because you can live on your hump. And don't you ever say I never did anything for you? Come out of the desert and go to the tree and behave. Now, so the jinn he mentions that the bulge on his back in his hump and it is a result of his own action. It was Thursday and the camel hadn't done a single thing since Monday when all the work began. The jinn clarifies that now the camel has to work. The camel, after seeing the hump, asks the jinn how can he work with something like that on his back. The jinn replied that the hump served a purpose. It will enable him to work for 3 days because he did no work for the first 3 days without eating anything. Jinn said that he can live on his hump. He further goes on to say that the camel better not point out that the jinn never did anything for him. He asked him to get out of the desert and begin working with the tree. And the camel went away to join the tree. And from that day to this, the camel always wears a hump. We called it hump now, not to hurt his feelings. But he has never yet caught up with the 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world. And he has never yet learned how to behave. So, student, in the last paragraph, the camel, he joined the tree to work with them. Since that day, he always carries his hump along, which we now call as hump, to not hurt his feeling. Despite working, he has not been able to compensate for the first 3 days when the world began. Also, he did not learn to behave properly. Thank you, student.